let me tell you a couple things, before we get started. Make sure you get my book, Glory Carriers. It releases March 5th. And you can get it on Amazon. I just saw that the audiobook went up as well. So of course you can get it in paper, Kindle, and audiobook, and it releases March 5th. Those of you who've ordered it from me personally, you're going to get a personally signed copy. We're starting to ship out now. And you can get that. Just go to Jennifer Eivaz Shopify, or go to Facebook, my public page, and hit the Shop Now button, and you can order it from me there, okay? All right, and then also we have the Glory and Prayer Institute with myself, Apostle John Eckhart, and Patricia King. This is going to be amazing. We are filling up. We will close it eventually. We will close registration once our campus is full. Our online, of course, is open, but we're not full yet on campus, but we're starting to get there. And the price goes up March 1st. So if you plan to register, do it now to make sure you got a seat and get the best price. You can do that at eventbrite.com. And what's amazing is, the institutes are about being taught, okay? There's a lot of teaching, there's a lot of activation, but it's also an encounter, it's an experience. And there's something that happens that we come together expecting, and we really dig in together. The Lord He meets us there, and we just have testimony after testimony. We have signs and wonders, miracles. People are getting released into ministry now. I've just noticed all across the board. It's just been amazing. We've been doing this for about 3 years, just different institutes, but all kind of within the supernatural realm. And so this one's about glory and prayer, the glory of God, the manifest presence of God, the aspects of the manifestations of God, and what they are and how to respond to them, and just the miraculous nature and how to be a glory carrier, because you're intended to be a glory carrier, okay? All right, so that's coming up. And so now let's talk about glow-in-the-dark people. This is what I really want to talk with you about. And this whole thing about how people can carry the radiance of God in such a way that you will literally glow. And it's in the Bible, and it's happened to people. And I wanted to just kind of break that down for you, because I know that God is supernatural, and He works miraculously, and He actually works like that. But I want to give you biblical foundation, because that's really important to me. I don't like miracles for the sake of miracles. I want to see it in the Word. And then I also want to encourage you, because I know some things that are going to be coming up, that the Lord's going to be doing on the horizon. I want to get you ready for it, okay? And also get you ready for this institute. And so, we look in Genesis, and one of the things we see right away, Genesis chapter 1, right away, is the Lord dealing with darkness. Okay, and in Genesis chapter 1, he begins to deal with darkness, and what does he say? He says, let there be lights. First thing he says, that we have a record of. And he says, let there be light. And that's because, he's dealing with darkness right in the onset. And light always overpowers darkness. And it's such a principle, it's such a symbol, and it's such a weapon, okay? Light is a weapon, remember that. And so you fast forward into the life of Moses and the Israelites, and we see how Moses would go face to face with God. And when he did, he began to shine and radiate so strongly with the light of God. It scared the Israelites, and he had to put a veil over his face so they wouldn't be scared of him. But when he would go to the Lord, he would take the veil off, because you have no veil. What we learn from that is you have no veil, no barrier between you and the Lord. And when you do that, you begin to shine and radiate with His presence. And so that's what we see in the life of Moses. He literally glowed with the presence of God. We see that the Lord met the Israelites on Mount Sinai. Again, it was fire and smoke and lightning, and that He would manifest Himself that way. Manifest Himself in a very visible way. And light was so much a part of that. He led the Israelites, a cloud by day, a fire by night. And so this whole concept that the Lord, one of the manifestations of glory is the light, the radiating light of God in a lot of different ways. But light overpowers darkness, and you just got to remember that light overcomes darkness. And this is it also means that He has come to dwell with us. Okay, so there's some different things that we learn about the light of God, the manifestation of God, the glory of God, manifested in the form of light. Now, fast forward into the New Testament, we see how Jesus transfigured right before his crucifixion and resurrection. He transfigured, in front of some of the disciples, and then we see where Moses and Elijah actually appeared as well and began to counsel Jesus. And he actually transfigured into light. I mean, he just looked like a light being right before that happened to him. And then we also see Stephen right before he was martyred. His face began to glow with the light of God. And so we see some instances of this in the Bible. And then for the sake of principle, we see in the Word that we are going from glory to glory. And one manifestation of glory is the manifestation of the light of God. And it can happen a lot of different ways, but one way is you actually glow with the light of God. And so we're going to see people actually glow with the light of God. And it's so symbolic because light overpowers darkness, okay? It just overpowers darkness. It means he's come to dwell with us. You know, it's a lot of symbolism, but it is a miracle, a visible miracle that we will see. Now, I know for myself, I've had 4 separate occasions that I know of where I've actually lit up with the light of God. Some of you perhaps have seen those photos on my social media where they just happen to capture pictures of me just lit up like a light, like, you know, a ball of light. And it's so crazy. And, you know, what people don't know is that before each occasion that they got that picture in 2 separate places, one in Las Vegas and one here at Harvest Turlock. And so they just happened to capture those pictures. And I had dreams prior to each situation where the Lord was talking to me about carrying the glory of God. And so it was so meaningful to me that they actually captured that. Not so much that I lit up, you know, like a light bulb, but that they actually caught it on camera, and I already had dreams about it. And the Lord was preparing me because the light of God overpowers darkness. And it is very symbolic. It's a symbol of elevation. It's a symbol of darkness being dispelled. It's a symbol of his presence. It's a symbol for a lot of things, but it's also an encouragement to you that if it happened to me, because I'm just like anybody else, if it happened to me, it's going to happen to more people. And then I had another situation. I wrote about it in my book, Seeing the Supernatural. And this is when I was coming to preach the service one Sunday morning. My husband was preaching somewhere else. And I just got a sense. I just began to discern that there was trouble in the service that Sunday. And it was what happens when you discern trouble. Sometimes it gets in your emotions, and you really start to flip out a little bit inside if you're not aware what's going on or you don't know how to handle it. So I've learned at this point to be able to handle that, even though, you know, you're melting down inside and you know there's trouble, you know there's going to be a problem. And so I walked straight in the back door and I told the security, I said there's this young man's coming to the service, and I told him who it was. I said he's going to create trouble today. When you see him, keep an eye on him and make sure, you know, nothing bad happens, because it felt very serious to me. And so sure enough, that young man came into the service, and I just remember when he did, you know, all of a sudden I began to, little balls of light began to flash all around me, like very strongly, and I would say it was an angelic presence, but whatever, I don't know. And my associate pastor, he's looking at me and he's pointing his finger. He says, there's angels around you, there's angels around you. And I literally, for about, I would say 15 seconds, lit up like a Christmas tree, just lit up bunch of lights. Other people saw it. It was really crazy. And when that happened, that young man that I said was going to come and create trouble, he jumped up on the platform, you know, to do, I don't know what he was going to do. I just know security rushed him, grabbed him, took him out, and took care of it. And then I went on and I preached the service like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, here's my point. My point is this, is that this is going to happen more and more. It's going to happen more and more. And why is that? It's because, you know, the Lord is making a point of it. Light overcomes darkness. I'm prophesying right now. Light overpowers darkness, and he's going to actually give visible signs using you, using me perhaps, where you're going to light up like a light bulb. You're going to light up with the light of God, and it's a sign, all right, that darkness is being dealt with, darkness is being dispelled. So anyway, I just want to encourage you with that. I also hope to see you at the Glory and Prayer Institute. Make sure you register, eventbrite.com, and register before the price goes up. That's even better. I hope to see you on campus. If you can't come on campus, you can catch it online. Okay, God bless. Thank you.